guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a nighttime routine for me. I realized that I've never filmed one of these before, so I figured it might be interesting to you guys to see what a typical night for me looks like. So I did start recording before my kids went to bed this night. Usually before my kids go to bed, like while they're eating dinner or while they're finishing eating their treats at night, I try to get started on the nightly chores. This night specifically, I had a load of dishes to unload from the dishwasher, and one of Bowden's chores, which if you didn't know, Bowden is my 5-year-old, one of his chores is to put away some of the dishes. He puts away about half of the dishes, all of the dishes that he can reach. So here I am setting them aside for him in a pile and putting away everything that he can't put away yet. So I had a few minutes to kill while Bowden finished putting away his dishes, so I started picking up from the day. There's lots of toys everywhere. Usually the kids will help me pick these up, so basically I was just trying to get things back into their homes. Now my daughter is 2 years old and my son, like I said, is 5, so usually after dinner I have to wipe down the table every night because it gets really sticky and messy every single time. And of course, while I was wiping down the table and trying to get the dishes away, Emmy, my 2-year-old, decided to dump a whole box of Legos out, so I had to pick that up so nobody tripped on them. So after I picked up all the toys around the house, the kids were ready to go to bed, so I put them to bed, and then I came down here, I cleaned off everything off of my island, and I gave that a good scrub down. The island in our house is kind of where everything lands in the middle of the day. I feel like we always put mail here and backpacks and all the things, so it always needs a good scrub down at the end of the day. The next thing I work on is the dishes. So I emptied the dishwasher earlier, and then I filled the dishwasher with all of our dishes that are dishwasher safe or that can go in the dishwasher, but we do have quite a few things that I do hand wash. I hand wash all of the kids' cups, lunch boxes, coffee mugs, cutting boards, all those things I hand wash. And we had quite a few dishes tonight. I feel like no matter how much I do the dishes throughout the day, we always have some left over at night. So I will admit, doing dishes is definitely not my favorite chore in the world, but I will say that most nights we do try and get the dishes done at night, and it makes a huge difference in my mental health and my sanity in the morning. Having a clear sink really helps me feel less stressed in the morning time. And there are some nights where I don't wash the dishes, I get too tired or whatever excuse there may be, but I'd say about 90% of the time, Nate and I do make sure to clear the sink the night before because it does make a big difference for us the next morning, especially if we have a busy day the next day. So if you guys are feeling overwhelmed the next day, maybe try that and see if it helps. So real quick, I ran the garbage outside because I noticed it was getting full, so I put a new garbage bag in and took the recycling and garbage out. So the next thing I did was swap out the laundry. I feel like I'm constantly switching laundry. Dishes and laundry are two things for me that I feel like are just constantly piling up, and there's always things to do. So I try to switch these before I get too deep into the night, because if I don't, I will forget and then I'll have to rewash them tomorrow. So I try to prepare as much as I can for the next morning so that it's not very chaotic in the morning. I try and give myself as much preparation as possible because I get very anxious when I'm running late and I feel overwhelmed. So This was a Tuesday night, so Emmy had gymnastics the next morning, so I went ahead and repacked the diaper bag, made sure there was enough diapers and snacks and everything that we needed for the following day so that I could just grab it and go in the morning. Another thing I do is I lay out the kids' vitamins so I don't forget to give them to them in the morning, and I also lay out an outfit for Bowden. I lay it on the kitchen table so that in the morning when he comes downstairs, he can just get dressed right away, and that's one more thing off of the checklist. Once all the chores are completed, I move on to the animals. So the first thing I do is I feed the dogs. Then I take them outside and I bundle up because it is freezing cold here in Illinois. Also, yes, I do wear my husband's coats. Does anybody else do that or just me? Because I feel like when the coat is bigger, it just feels much more cozy. So I always steal his coats. And lastly, I feed the fish. This is typically Nate's job or chore or whatever you want to call it, but he was actually out of town for work, so it was on me this time. So after all the chores are done, all the animals are taken care of, everybody's done, I have to tackle this huge pile of laundry. I am very, very bad at folding and putting my laundry. I will be the first to admit it. I neglect it for days until it piles up and I can't neglect it anymore. The only time of night that I really find works for me to fold laundry is after the kids go to bed and everything else is done. What I usually do to get through it is I just put on one of my favorite shows and I sit down and try to tackle it as fast as I can and get it over with. So saving the laundry for the end of the night has some pros and cons, and one of the cons is that I'm usually too tired to do it by the end of the night, so that's why it sits for so long. But the positive is that I can finally sit down and relax, and the biggest tip I have for you at the end of the night is to not sit down. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but for me personally, the second I sit down to fold laundry or eat, or, I'm just gonna play on my phone for just a minute, I cannot get back up. It is so hard for me to keep it going. So for me, it's just really important to keep that momentum going, and that helps me a ton if I just get everything I need to get done first and tackle it all and then sit down and relax and play on my phone. The night goes much better. And the last thing I do is brush my teeth. I take my makeup off. Yes, I use baby wipes. Do not come for me. I'm sure you guys are going to come for me in the comments, but I've always used baby wipes and they work so well for me. Then I moisturize. My skin is very, very dry and it has been a long, dry winter here. I use my under eye cream and then I usually use a Vaseline on my lips or some sort of lip serum at the end. So that's my nightly routine. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.